Hello, friends. Today I'm very happy again to have Dr. Mamoon with me. We had one podcast earlier about the Yazidi community of Iran. We discussed the
Iraq,
dilemma,
Iraq.
Iraq, sorry. We discussed the dilemma of genocide. We discussed their customs, their religious beliefs, how they went through from more than 72 genocides. What are their psychological status as a nation is. And today I have invited Dr. Mamu again because I feel that in our past podcast, it was very emotional. It was kind of very touching. I was moved with the stories of the community, and of course, I'm sure you people were also moved with the dilemma the whole community has gone through. But today, Dr. Mamu, we would like to know a little more about the culture, the essence, the Sufism, the way of living, your heritage, the beauty of your community. So, we would like to explore more of the cultural side of your community. I have seen many videos of their association with their peers. I believe there is a whole spiritual system you follow. And first of all, thank you for joining us, Dr. Mamu.
It's my pleasure, you say it, to be with you and having me. I think only through continuous communication and common interests about subjects that are for the benefit of the whole society and for the whole community, we can forward our ideas and make it for the benefit of all the whole society. I am very happy to be with you and answer all your questions that you think uh, that you need to clarify some issues that are not still um, are as not explained. That's why I am here to tell you that we Yazidi, we are monotheistic religion and believe in the same God that all the humanity believe in. That we were trying our best through the whole the history of humanity to protect only our identity, to let people accept us as we are and not as we should be. We are in a misconception about Abrahamic religions only because we are not a missionary. We were not able to write our history about ourselves. But our history has been written by others who regarded us to be devil's worshippers, and we are in a misconception, which is not true. Look, my dear Pierre, I'm now 71 years old, and I lived about more than 30 years in Germany. I was researching, I was writing, and I came to the reality that we believe in the same God that the whole humanity believe in. Only because we have another conception, another approach to the creation, to the story of creation. That's why the extremists regarded us as an outsider, and it's difficult to challenge those people who are in power. We were never in power. We are not a missionary religion. We only were trying to be accepted and stop genocides against us. So, but I hope now we are in a modern age and people start to approach each other according to the basic principles of humanity, not to their own religion. Things have been differed, and we are happy that to stay at the same level with the followers of all religions. Well, to me and to the majority of all people, the basic or the new religion of all humanity is the basic principles of human rights, not of a Muslim or a Christian or a Yazidi or a Jew. No, we should start to accept each other according to the basic principles and acceptance of all religions, which is the basic principles of human rights. My dear peer, I'm so happy to be with you because I've realized that you have a very crucial approach to our religion, to us, and understanding what we are, and to clarify also to all the people who follow this program that we from the others, from other followers of our religions in any aspects. We believe in the same God. We regard and accept the principles of human rights and with the new modern approach to life. Please, my dear peer, if you have a precise a question, please start. Go on.
Thank you, Dr. Mamoon. And I completely agree with you that we not only respect your community and religion, but we also admit that your community, your religion is a very important part of the diversity of the whole world. And this is one of the colors of rainbow. And without this color, the rainbow is not complete. So prosperity, independence, peace, uh, living peacefully, prospering the new generations of your community. This is equally important for us as well. So my first question would be, as I mentioned that today we will more focus on the culture and the heritage of your community. My first question will be to understand more about your culture. How many celebrations do you have? Like we Muslims, we do celebrate Eids 2 times a year. We celebrate Milad Nabi, the birth of Prophet. We celebrate different occasions. Some are cultural, some are religious, some are spiritual. So, how many kind of celebrations you have? What are the events? What are the times in the year you celebrate, and how are those celebrations take place?
Yes, a very good question. Generally, all the Yazidis celebrate after 2 months. So, in a year, we celebrate six major um, cultural and, and inherited festivals. They are the basic principles of our religion. I'll start with the 3 days of fasting, which regards um, the birth of Mithra, because philosophically we are the inheritance of Mithra. So the 21st and the 23rd of December, and it's sometimes it has different the calendar, and that's why we we fast 3 days uh, on the after 13 days of the Eastern calendar on December, 3 days. But it should be uh, uh, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days. And the celebration and fasting for the sun. At those days, the sun is the shortest. Only that is born. So it's born Wednesday, and that's why it's a holiday. Wednesday is a holiday of Yazidis, and one day before his birthday, and on his birthday, and one day after his birthday we fast, and we celebrate on Friday. This is the main one of the main of religious Yazidi religious. Second one is by the end of December, beginning of January, which is a minor one. It's celebration of the last day of cultivation of the earth. It's called Belinda. Then at the Baba Sheikh and other religious Yazidi men fast 40 days of a new year, and they celebrate, and by the end of the 40 days at the beginning of February. And then the feast and celebration of Prophet Elias and Khidr. And today was the celebration of their feast. And some Yazidis fast 3 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday and Friday celebrates the feast of Prophet Khidr and Elias. Then we come to the one of the most important and major festivals of the Yazidis, which is the Easter. The Eastern is on the first Wednesday, 13 days after the Gregorian calendar, and it is the celebration of life. It's the festival of life. We celebrate this feast with eggs and the flowers of April, and the entrance of most of the Yazidis of all the Yazidis house are fixed uh, with the flowers and earth of April, with the with the uh, eggs, with the shell of the eggs. They are colored, and it's for only one day. It's Wednesday. It's called Sarsal, the New
Okay,
Year.
like Nowruz.
After
They
that,
celebrate Nowruz.
it's it is Nowruz also with the whole curse we celebrate with them, but we celebrate this Eastern, and we believe that the Christianity has taken over Eastern from us. Easter, yes. Then the celebration, they will start um, or the religious men fast 40 days of summer. Then the celebration of the end of this festival or fasting after 40 days is on the 2nd of August each year. After that, after 2 months, we have the festivals of Jamai. It's 7 days. It's very ancient. And the most important event in this feast is the slaughtering of the bull, which is the representative of autumn, and it's from the Mithraistic religion. After that, we come to um, tell again. We come to December. So roughly after 2 months, each 2 months, there is a very important and fundamental feast for the arrival of Sheikh Adi to us, and we celebrated it up to now.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So many colors and so many joys. And this is so fascinating that religions got inspiration by your religion, like Easter. Christianity took Easter from you. And this is
Yes,
beauty. This is influence of cultures on other cultures. And that gives us some
yes.
kind of ownership in each other's culture, right?
My dear peer, want to mention something important, that what we have as inheritance of the culture that was accumulated after more than thousand of years, couple of thousands of years. For instance, the Mesopotamia. It is not shaped and determined by one community. It is a contribution
Hmm.
of many communities that they contributed a part of new culture to it and became one culture. For instance, of Egypt and of South America, of China, and especially of Mesopotamia. It is the work and contribution of many adherents of religions and ethnicities. They participated
Hmm.
together to build a culture. So a very famous culture doesn't belong
Hmm.
only to one community. It belongs to all the inhabitants and ethnicities and inhabitants and followers of religions that lived in
I
that area.
completely agree. I completely agree. And how are I'm very interested to know the rituals and customs of a marriage in my part of the world, especially where I'm living right now and where I am based right now. Uh, Marriage is almost like a long festival. It starts and it ends somewhere after 7 days, 10 days, and there are dances. There are different kind of customs. We called it henna. I don't know in Iraq. You know it, henna. There's a ceremony of henna. It's pre-marriage ceremony. Then they take the friends and relatives from the house of groom to house of bride, and there they perform nikah, and then they have a good meal, and then they take back bride to the groom's house. And the next day, or after a couple of days, the bride throws a meal for relatives and friends and family. And then somewhere there's a custom of moklava, so many customs, so it's a complete holiday package for 10 days, not only for the couple, but all the friends and families.
Indeed, the difference between the rituals of marriage of us with the adherents of other religions is that the bride and the groom, each one of them should have hereafter brother and hereafter sister. We believe, so our religion is a mixture of the reincarnation, rebirth, and also under the influence of Abrahamic religions, the heaven and hell. But more, we believe that each each Yazidi should have his after or her his after brother and his or her after sister, and they are going to be his witnesses after his death in reincarnation. So the marriage is celebrated by a kind of marriage contract done by a sheikh, and those sheikhs are called Sheikh Hassan, and they write down a kind of contract which is not which is later on to be acknowledged by the court. Yes, and this marriage is the beginning of a civil marriage. and they previously, formerly, they were celebrating 7 days, and after the seventh day, if each day there are invitations and there are meals done um, by the family, inviting a lot of friends and relatives. And on the seventh day, after the seventh day, uh, the the wife goes to her family and stays for 3 days there. Then they come back. She comes back with celebrations. So it is a religious institution which we inherited it from our own faith, that how humanity will continue go on, and it will not go on without a marriage, and this marriage should be consented and accepted, and there should be some witnesses, and all in all, it is very holy. Marriage is very holy, and we, as followers of Yazidis religion, we have been affected to a great extent from Abrahamic religions, that the duties of the wife and the duties of the husband. So let me tell you other incidents that took place in the Yazidi religions concerning marriage. That, for instance, that the husband is allowed to marry his second wife, but on conditions, not easily according to his own wish and will. No, on conditions. There should be some, either the wife uh, doesn't bear kids, or she is ill, or she is not fit for marriage, then he's allowed to. And the Yazidis also, uh, and they don't accept divorce easily. Divorce is something very unacceptable. Marriage is a holy institution, should be respected to protect and strengthen the affiliation feeling of the Yazidi community.
And
Yes, Pierre.
do
Go on,
you,
please.
because I have studied about Druze, that community doesn't marry outside of the community. So, is there any restriction in Yazidi community to get married inside the community, or they can
Yeah.
marry outside the community as well?
No, it's a very crucial question again, my dear Pierre. Um, we are not allowed to marry a non-Yazidis. And within the Yazidis, I am a peer. I'm not allowed to marry a
Okay.
murid or a sheikh. And there are 40 castes of peer. And I'm peer of
Okay.
all the peers. Peer Hassel Mama. I'm allowed only to marry from
Okay.
my caste. And but please don't contrast and compare and contrast it with the Indian
Yeah.
caste, of, for instance, the untouchables. No, the caste, the Yazidi caste, have been made to strengthen the affiliation feeling among the Yazidis, that each Yazidi has his own
Hmm.
sheikh and his peer. And among sheikh, there are three castes. And among peer, there are 40 castes. So we are not allowed, for instance, to marry from a
Hmm.
different caste. And this is a tradition, this is
Hmm.
not religion, but it has been. The problem, say it, that with the minorities religious groups, is that their culture has become a kind of
Hmm.
religion. So our religion, Yazidis, a group of cultures, of festivals, of rituals that started before the arrival of Sheikh Adi. And as he came, he accepted us to continue practicing those rituals and feasts and festivals and became a part of our religion. So our religion is just like the English constitution. They
Yeah.
have no written constitution. It, they have only a ritual or customs and habits. They practice it, and they became a component or a part of their religion.
That's right. And here I would like to ask you about the spiritual side of your religion. As you rightly mentioned now, about the peers, the murids, the sheikhs. So it sounds like a spiritual or mystic side of the religion. On our end, we as I am a Sufi, so we have a strong affiliation with a peer, with a sheikh, and there is a l- larger Sufi community which is based on different smaller and medium sized Sufi communities. We have Qadris, we have Naqshbandis, we have. So this is kind of classification between the Sufi paths. So how is your Sufi path? One thing, would you like to describe it? Second, what is the concept of spiritual leader? Is it sheikh? Is it peer? Is it uh, other title? But who is leading the community spiritually? And the third question, I would like to club all the questions together. Um, how you follow the spiritual path? What is the level of commitment of your community? Is it a must do thing for everyone, or it is something you can adopt or you can leave? It's just a free will. So please, I would like you to comment on it.
My dear peer Sayed, we were affected, and our caste system have been shaped and determined by the principles of Sufis. But we don't have Sufism now. We have the spirituality, we practice the spirituality of Sufism. For instance, their approach to the story of creation, of Adam and Eve, of the creation in general. But we started to practice it in the caste system, in Sheikh Pir Murid. So Murid, they are the general, the liars, call it the general people. The Sheikh are responsible for dowry, for signing the contract, marriage contracts, for leading some communities more politically. The peers are responsible for the religious rituals, for spirituality. Then we have the religious council, the prince who is responsible for both civil and religious affairs. Then we have Baba Sheikh. Baba Sheikh is just like the Pope of Christianity. He's responsible for the spiritual sides of Yazidism, but he takes his um, instructions from the prince. Then you have Baba Chawish, who is the guardian of Lalish, the main shrine of Yazidis. Then we have Peshimam, who is responsible for signing the duaris and the contracts of marriage. We have Baba Gava, who is also responsible for some rituals in Lalish. So the religious council consists of five persons in addition to the prince. Each one has his own responsibilities and duties. All in all, the Yazidis community is led by the religious council. The religious council, with the prince on the head, they take all the decisions about a variety of aspects of religions, or whether the rituals or festivals will take or be cancelled this year because of some dangers or before ISIS, or we should how much money should be taken as a dowry when there is a marriage, or how many days um, should be celebrated after marriage, or how many days should be considered as mourning after the death. So the religious council decide about the religious affairs which are the Yazidis involved with.
Thank you for enlightening us about the culture and heritage and the spiritualism of the Yazidi community. I'm again thankful for your time and being with us, and I hope that in couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, we will sit together again. We will talk about your community and the uh, recent developments which have taken place socially and psychologically in your community. We will talk about that someday. And I just couldn't thank you very much for being with me today. Hope to see you soon in person someday in Pakistan or in Iraq. Very soon, inshallah.
It's my great pleasure to be with you. I enjoy and appreciate all your questions. I regard them as a kind of enlightenment for our religion and for all minorities whom you interview, because um, a light should be thrown on a variety of our um, religious and cultural ones, to let the people
Yeah.
know who we are and to clarify those misconceptions about our religion. And I'm ready to be with you whenever you invite me to such interviews, and I'm ready to answer all your questions as far as I know, for the benefit of all people in general, and especially for the minorities who has been um, history
Yeah.
because of the misunderstanding their religion and their faith.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed, my dear Peer Sayed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us.